Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Today we are going to discuss an important topic, civil law in Indonesia, and I will be moderating this session. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Dema Selvi Mutia, and I will guide you through today's presentation. Now let's proceed with our presentation. The first topic will be presented by Daniel Arya Fernanda. Daniel, time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. I will continue material about civil law in Indonesia. Civil law is a law that regulates relation between individuals and has a regulatory character with the aim of protecting individual interests. The implementation of civil law in Indonesia cannot be separate from the many influence of liberal politics in the Netherlands, who tried to make fundamental change in the colonial legal system. This policy is known as the Bewi's Rechtspolitik. The existence of civil procedural law as a formal law has an important and strategic position in effort to enforce civil law in judicial institutions. As formal law, civil procedural law function to enforce, maintain, and guarantee compliance with civil law in court practice. The scope of civil procedural law renewal that must be considered at least includes three fundamental things, namely renewal of philosophical, legal, and sociological content. Renewal of philosophical content is intended to review the relevance of the concept and principle of civil procedural law. Renewal of legal content is intended to evaluate the content of positive legal norms or rules that are currently in force, while renewal of sociological content is intended so that the birth of the new legislation does not receive challenge from the community. With the existence of the principle of national civil procedural law, and change in the law must be oriented toward this legal principle, so as to be able to create law that protect without discrimination and also protect society from the arbitrariness of power. Laws that have a dimension of justice and also law that are responsive to various phenomena of change and conflict that exist in the reality of people's life.
Thank you, Daniel, for the explanations. The next topic will be presented by Dewi. Dewi, please go ahead.
Thanks to the moderator, I will read the next material. History of Civil Law in Indonesia. Number 1, Time Colonial. Number 2, Time Independence. Number 3, Reformation Law. The history of civil law in Indonesia is very long, starting from the colonial era until today. Colonial period. The Dutch legal system greatly influenced Indonesian civil law during the colonial period. In 1847, the Burgerrecht Wetboek or Civil Code was promulgated, which later served as the basis for Indonesian civil law during the colonial period. During the colonial period, Indonesian civil law was only applicable to Dutch and other European citizens. Indonesians themselves were not allowed to access or study the civil law, except those who were educated by the Dutch and considered civilized. Time of independence. After Indonesian independence in 1945, the Dutch civil law system was replaced by the Civil Code, which applies to all Indonesians. In addition, customary law also still applies in certain cases that are not regulated in the Civil Code. Indonesian civil law underwent several developments and changes during the period of independence, such as granting broader rights to individuals and protecting intellectual property rights. Legal reform. A legal reform program began in Indonesia in 1999 with the aim of improving the country's judicial and legal system, including civil law. Reform efforts include revise law, simplifying legal procedure, and eradicating corrupting. In 2004, the Civil Code underwent a significant revision with the issues of Law Number 1, 2004, concerning amendment to Law No. 7 of 1989 concerning General Court. This law provides broader legal protection for citizens and gives recognition to customary law. Return to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Dewi. The next topic will be presented by Mahda. Mahda, time is yours.
Definition and legal situation in Indonesia. Understanding of Indonesia law in Journal of Law Enforcement and Justice from Muhammadiyah University Yogyakarta. Law enforcement is discussed as an effort to ensure justice for all citizens through formal legal instruments, although challenges such as corruption and disparities in access to justice remain significant problem. Legal situation in Indonesia. The current legal situation in Indonesia still face a number of significant challenges, some of which illustrates the state of Indonesia. 1. Corruption. Corruption remains a major challenge in law enforcement in Indonesia, although the plays an important role in eradicating corruption. The process is often hampered by political institutional factor. 2. Success of justice in Indonesia. Access to justice in Indonesia is still expert, especially in remote areas, due to limited legal infrastructure and a lack of adequate law enforcement personnel. 3. Supremacy of law. Although the Constitution upholds the supremacy of law, its application, if often inconsistent and influenced by political bias and the dominance of power. 4. Legal reform. Legal reform includes regional autonomy, judicial reform, and strengthening of anti-corruption institutions. However, the results have not been evenly distributed and there is still resistance in its implementation. 5. Customary law and legal pluralism. The diversity of customary law in various regions adds to the complexity of the legal system, sometimes giving rise to conflict between customary law and state law. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahda. The final topic will be presented by myself. Okay, I will explain about systematics of civil law in Indonesia. Systematic of civil law according to legal science. The first, law on a person. Person and right contains regulations regarding humans as subjects in law, regulations regarding the capacity to act independently, to exercise their rights, and matters that influence these capacities. The second, family law. Family right regulates legal relations arising from family relationships, such as marriage and relation in the field of property law between husband and wife, relations between parents and children, guardianships and curatel. The third, inheritance law. Affects regulating matters concerned in a person's property or wealth if he dies. Inheritance law regulates the consequence of family relationships regarding a person's inherited property. The fourth, will law. Vermögensrecht regulates legal relationships that can be valued in money. This property law includes two types of rights, namely, the first, absolute rights, which are absolute rights that apply to everyone, both right to objects and right to intangible goods, such as property rights, business rights, copyrights, and patents. The second, relative rights, which are rights that arise due to a legal event in which one party is bound to the other party, such as a sale and purchase agreement, lease agreement, and employment agreement. Next, systematic of civil law in Indonesia, about the civil law system applicable in Indonesia. There are 4 books, namely the first book on persons, which contains law regarding persons, and family law consists of 18 chapters, some which are Chapter 1 on enjoying and losing rights and authority, Chapter 2 on civil registration deeds, Chapter 3 on residence or domicile, Chapter 4 on marriage, and so on. The second book on property, which contains the law of property and the law of inheritance, consists of 21 chapters, some which are Chapter 1 on property and how to differentiate it, Chapter 2 on the possessions of power and the rights arising from it, Chapter 3 about property rights, and so on. The third book on the subjects of obligations, which consists of 18 chapters, some which are Chapter 1 on obligations in general, Chapter 2 on obligations arising from contracts or agreements, Chapter 3 on obligations arising from laws, Chapter 4 on the abolitions of obligations, Chapter 5 on buying and selling, and so on. The fourth book on the subject of proof and expiations, which consists of 7 chapters, some which are Chapter 1 on proof in general, Chapter 2 on proof with writing, Chapter 3 on proof with witnesses, and so on. The conclusion is civil law in Indonesia is governed by the Civil Code, which is a legacy of Dutch law. This law regulates relationships between individuals or legal entities in society, including rights and obligations in private relationships. Although still rooted in colonial law, Indonesian civil law has undergone various adjustments in accordance with social development and is influenced by customary law and religions. The Civil Code itself is divided into 4 main sections, namely the law of persons, objects, types, and evidence. That concludes our presentations. Thank you for your attention, and we are open to any questions you may have.